When it comes to the atmosphere in European stadiums, I genuinely doubt there is anyone better than Olympique Marseille, especially in France. Their fans in the Velodrome are just mental, genuinely insane, and they have gone ahead and had a huge announcement today, or something that has been announced by Fabrizio Romano. He says, Ismail Assar to Olympique Marseille, here we go, a player that Liverpool fans will remember painfully. Yes, I do. And yet, today, they have gone ahead and apparently signed him up. A lot of players linked with moves away from Marseille, and also a lot of players linked with moves into the club. And today, I want to rebuild Marseille because 2 years ago, I absolutely fell in love with their supporters and how they push on their team. So for that reason, Marseille, I am back to come in and do the end of season rebuild. And by the way, I'm saying end of season, but guys, we are now extremely close to the European season kicking off in all the top 5 leagues. I believe French league starts off first out of the top 5. I might be wrong there, but nonetheless, I'm super excited for European football to come back full strength. I cannot wait for it. Let me know which team you'll be supporting in the upcoming year and following every single of their games. I cannot wait to watch football 24/7 again. So who did Olympique Marseille already confirm as their transfers? Well, Aubameyang. Yes! Yes! Auba returns to Ligue 1. And if you guys don't know, back in the day, Auba used to play for Saint-Etienne before his move to Dortmund, I believe. And he was great. And he absolutely became insane at Dortmund, as we all know. And now he is one of the players that we are bringing into this squad because it is a transfer that has happened in real life. Now, here are a couple I need to mention. Renan Lodi, he also signed from Atletico, but I have to wait for 1 season because he's currently on loan in the game. So next season I can get him. Malinovsky, I signed permanently. Kondogbia has also been brought into the squad. Apart from that, though, Harit, 5 million. I don't know if they actually wanted to buy him or if it was included in the loan deal that they had with Schalke. But generally speaking, you can see a ton of players returning from loan, like Pape Gueye, the likes of Luis Enrique, Isaac Torre, all these guys. But if you go down the list even further, you can see that a bunch of players who came back on loan have already left. Luis Suarez sold for 8 million. Arkadiusz Milik at Juventus for 6.3. Nemanja Radonjic has been let go. Kolasinac, Strootman, and Alexis Sanchez. And most importantly, Dimitri Payet has just announced that he's not going to be with the club. And it's sad. It's very sad. Dimitri Payet at Olympique Marseille was an incredible player, a true captain of the squad, and honestly, the fans just absolutely love him for what I could tell. So it's sad to see him go, but for this rebuild, we have to make everything happen that has happened in real life. So I'm going to continue on doing so.
Is this real life?
So this is possibly how Olympique Marseille might line up, because if you look right here on this page, you can see the latest formations that they have been playing and the starting 11s. You can see every single game that we go into, it's basically a 3-4-2-1. So maybe we can just go ahead and assume that the camera will focus. Thank you. And we can just think that that is the formation that they will keep on building upon. I actually need to look up if they still have the same coach, because as far as I can remember, Tudor was the coach at Marseille, and he might have left. And I might then have to look into how the new coach actually goes ahead and puts his team up. But this is how they could line up if they stick to how they have been playing. Aubameyang up top, Malinovsky next to him with Under, and then you have Klaus on the right-hand side, who's an amazing player, by the way. He has had 10 goal contributions or 12 goal contributions for Marseille in the previous season. And the midfield mainly actually was this, with Veretout and Rongier, which is interesting.
Very interesting.
These two players holding down the middle. And I can tell you right now, I've watched a little bit of content of Marseille players themselves where they had to go ahead and put together their own starting 11, or actually best 5 from their team. And most, if not everyone, had Rongier in their squad. So it seems like they really rate him highly as the captain of the squad. Obviously an important player, but that also means that players like Kondogbia, who have just come in, and Guendouzi, who's already there, Gueye, who's coming back from his loan deal from Sevilla, and then also Unahi, who had an amazing World Cup. There are too many midfield players for just 2 positions. So surely something's going to happen right here, especially on the bench. I'm fully expecting some of these players being sold, especially Guendouzi had been linked to many teams before. Recently, he has been on and off the pitch, playing as a substitute, sometimes starting, so you can't really rely on that. It seems like Rongier and Veretout are the ones that they actually rely on, and Guendouzi might have to move on alongside Gueye as well. And then maybe you keep a hold of Kondogbia and Unahi right here. That is the starting 11 that we're going to go with. For the first season, I'm just going to go with Marseille and how they have set up their season and just see how it would actually go without me interfering too much. Actually, before we dive into the season, I've gone ahead and changed a few things. Unahi has gone out on loan. Guendouzi has been sold to PSG so that Olympique Marseille fans can hate him. That's good. And then we have Lirola, who has left, who I hate it. 2 years ago when he was playing for Marseille in the starting 11, he drove me mad. Torre, he's going back on loan to Girona, and Gueye has been sold to Sevilla for 11.2, actually, funnily enough, going over there. And then Amavi has joined Ajax because I don't see a future for Amavi in the squad personally, but that's it. All I'm doing for the first season.
You lazy bitch.
So the first season has finished without doing too much, and we can see that Olympique Marseille have finished in the 4th position on 69 points, while PSG have won the title just ahead of Olympique Lyon. Now, for us, obviously, that means that we have to do much better next season with the new signings coming in. But also, if you take a look at the league table of the last season, Marseille only managed to come in 3rd place behind a team like Lens. Like, no one expected them to be up there and competing against the likes of PSG and pushing them to basically the last game of the season, but they could have been up there trying to win the title. But Marseille, too far off PSG, and that's definitely something that we will tackle ourselves. But going back into our rebuild, we finish in 4th position, Europa League football coming in, starting 11. You can see not much has happened. A lot of growth definitely looks different. Alba has actually gone down in his stats because he's 33 years old. Let's be honest, that is not necessarily going to be a long-term player for us in a starting 11, but he has played at least 1 season, which is something I wanted to showcase to you guys, and we have only gotten into that 4th spot. At the back, I think this team has big issues. I personally, at the time, didn't necessarily believe in Balerdi. I'm still not a big believer in his talents. And then you have Mbemba, who actually has done quite well for Marseille from what I can remember in the last season. You also had Kondogbia, who seems to have gotten a lot of playtime. And then you have Vitinha, who at Braga was incredible. Marseille bought him, and I actually thought he would do really well there. He just didn't. He just didn't turn up the way they expected it to be. And now he's growing on our bench. And the question is, do we give him that striking spot ahead of someone like Aubameyang next season? Or do we just pivot out of this situation and go and get ourselves a new striker that Marseille can believe in? And that's something that will probably be a little bit more fun. Now, having said all that, the first season ends with Cengiz Ünder being the top scorer, 19 and 10. Malinowski in 2nd place, and Alba, despite playing striker, only managed to get 12 goals and then 3 assists for himself, which means we definitely have to change a lot in the 2nd season. Let's dive straight in. So I just realized the massive mistake that I made here. In the intro of the video, I told you that Marseille had signed Sarr. I didn't bring him in. So he is coming in right now. Sorry, lads. Sarr is now a part of the squad. Harit, get out of here. He goes ahead and plays on that left midfield spot for us. And he joins in at the rating of 78, which is the same as Harit at this stage. I personally am not a big believer of Harit. I've seen him play in the Bundesliga. I've seen him play in Liga. He does have his moments of brilliance, but the consistency just ain't there. So that is someone I'm open to letting go as well if we need to. But for now, we can keep him as a backup. Vitinha up to an 80 now at the start of the new season. Alba down to a 79. So Sarr taking over that left midfield spot. Could he have helped us in the previous season? I don't think so. He actually was around the rating of Harit anyway, so all good. We haven't really lost out on too much there, but yeah. Talk about the transfer in the first minute of the video and then just not make it. Yeah, good job, me.
You did a very good job.
Now, this next player I'm bringing in, I thought he was going to go ahead and join Feyenoord, but Ivan Nusic is a player that Olympique Marseille are apparently interested in now, trying to get him ahead of Feyenoord. So that for me means we're going after him. So Ivan Nusic has joined us. Amin Harit plus 10 million in this case. And that is a great deal for me. So Ivan Nusic is someone that can play in the cam position, but also can play on the wings. And he could also step up into that center forward spot if needed. In that left midfield spot, he would actually have the same rating, but we don't necessarily want him there. Now, you have to keep in mind, Klaus is 30 years old, and Malinovsky is 30 as well. Ivan Nusic, only being 24, would probably be the right choice for that center forward spot. So what I'm going to do is, for this season, Malinovsky is going to play center forward, and then we're going to have Ivan Nusic go up behind him in terms of his rating and hopefully reach him so we can replace him in the next year. So that is going to be a signing that is going to come in. And now I want to sort out the striker position. Vitinha, as much as I like you, it seems like for you it hasn't worked out at Marseille. So let's go ahead and bring in a striker that can replace Alba and Vitinha at the same time. That's not going to be easy. 21 goals and 2 assists in Ligue 1 last season, going back to his parent club, Arsenal. I am signing Balogun. Yes, he is the one I think could be perfect for this squad. And honestly, it would be too sad to see this guy being sat on the bench on Arsenal, because he has done so well in Ligue 1 this previous season, which is obviously considered a top 5, top 6 league in the world. And for such a young player to be sat on a bench after such a good season, I think that would be very bad for his development. So Balogun comes in and he takes over from Alba, and he will be fighting for his spot against Vitinha. So let's see who wins this battle. He comes in at an 80 rating, 3-star skill moves, 4-star weak foot. He is from the United States. He has decided to play for that national team, which is probably a good thing for his career. He's probably going to get a lot more play time over there, and he can be the main man for them. But we also have something I need to show you here. I didn't just pull this out of nowhere. I thought, personally, that this would be a perfect transfer for Marseille with the current circumstances. I wouldn't have gone for Aubameyang personally, because I think he's a troublemaker. But anyways, you can see that Arsenal striker Folarin Balogun has interest from AC Milan, Inter, Marseille, Monaco, and Leipzig. That was just a couple of weeks ago as those news came in. So this is pretty much a perfect transfer. I hope he does absolutely amazing for us, and I hope he can be the main guy. But having done that with the attack, with bringing in Ivan Nusic as a backup to Malinovsky and Under, I think we need to focus on defense. I do not like Igo. I would like to replace him. Valerde, he is growing along. He's only 24, so we'll give him that play time. But I do want to bring in a new centre-back in the centre. And Mbemba, he's only 28 as well. Let's keep him for now. A new central centre-back. I need that one to come in immediately.
Give it to me now.
One of the brightest talents in that centre-back position. Also a former AS Saint-Etienne player, Fofana. Yes, guys, he is obviously a big profile player, but he has gone ahead and torn his ACL once again. This guy keeps on picking up long-term injuries, and I don't see the patience in a team like Chelsea. They are going to find someone to replace him. So for that reason, Fofana, if you want to re-kickstart your career after just injuries upon injuries constantly, let's take you over to Marseille. Let's build you back up. Let's try and get you back into that French national team. Why not? For me, this was a no-brainer. He is obviously very injury prone. And as I said before, I do strongly believe that with sides like Chelsea, who have zero patience when it comes to coaches, players, all that stuff, they are quick to move on. And if you have someone like Fofana, who is extremely talented, but frustratingly injury prone, I can see that not working out in the future. I can see them going past him and bringing in someone else that's just going to play ahead of him, and him not ever really going ahead and playing in the starting 11. That's just my guess, so it's also my justification for this transfer. I wanted Fofana. I wanted to have him in here because I know in the next FIFA he might be lower rated or whatever due to the fact that he's once again just, injured. It's sad to see, man. I hate to see this. Young players, so talented, constantly injured. So the season has ended, and guys, I don't see Europa League going too far. We have been beaten by Manchester United in this case, but obviously the squad itself now, with Malinovsky at an 83, Balogun has won the battle for striker, Vitinha on 82, Balogun 84, Under 83 rated, Klaus is looking alright, midfield is looking solid, Rongier 29, Veretout 31, we might have to bring in some young legs in there soon, Sar up to an 82, defensively, Ofana, Mbemba and Balerdi solid at the back, Lopez up to an 85, Ivanusic now centre forward, and he's 80 rated, so he could be taking over a position quite soon. But you can tell that we have a lot of players in here. Ooh, okay, going on there. Maybe you guys heard that. But anyways, we have a lot of players in here that might have to be replaced soon. But in the league, second place. Okay. I mean, it's only 1 point behind PSG, which is really disappointing to see that we have not been able to catch up to them despite a better goal difference. Our defense has only conceded 36 goals. That's really good. I'm happy with that. So, having seen all that, I know we're playing Champions League football next season, so I'm looking forward to it. And Balogun coming in 25-2, Malinovsky 22-10, Sar first season for us 16-3. Generally speaking, everything's looking good. Unahi has been out on loan and he's 81 rated now, which means he can come in and take over for one of the aging midfielders. So that is a great thing for us to see. Klaus with the 5 and 8. Generally speaking, everything's looking good. Let's get into the next season and make a few big decisions. Klaus, I'm sorry. I need to replace you with a young one, and it is going to be Viktor Tsigankov. If you guys didn't pay attention, he actually moved to Girona in January, and he played 17 games for them that season. Actually, 19. 17 where he started, where he got 9 goal contributions for that side. Tsigankov is looking great. I cannot wait to see what he does with Girona in the upcoming season. I think he's a great player. And now he is going to be a Marseille player. Now with Malinovsky having a Ukrainian in the squad, I thought let's bring in a different one as well. Or actually replace a Ukrainian for a different one. Because I do want to move Malinovsky on. He's going to be used at a swap deal. Ivanusic now takes over. And Under can go onto the left. Actually, no. Let's keep him like that so that they can cut in and shoot. But, yeah. Ivanusic will take over left center forward position. Under on the right. And then Tsigankov in right midfield. Left-footed and cut inside. Both feet actually really good. An amazing player that probably will move on after this upcoming season at Girona. I expect him to do really, really well. And then a lot of teams wanting to sign him wouldn't really surprise me. So I left the room and I came back to this. Guys, let me show you what has happened here. We have apparently won the French Cup against Clermont in the final. And we somehow qualified the Champions League final as well. I don't know how the hell this happened. So let's take a look at it. We have apparently beaten PSG, which is obviously huge. 3-0 loss in the league to then beat them after a 1-1 draw. And then at home, Velodrome, the energy has probably taken us across the line. 2-0 victory there. And before that, we played against Sporting. And before that, we played against Celtic. Okay, so Celtic and Sporting are teams I would have expected us to beat. But PSG, huge. So this is coming way earlier than I would have thought. I didn't think this Marseille team is ready yet. But since it has happened, let's go along with it and see what we can achieve with this squad. Now, the squad itself has Balogun on an 87, Ivanusic 85, Under 86 rated, Tsigankov has grown, Rongier and Veretout both on an 85 now, Sar 86, and the defense looks strong. It looks good. It really does. And Lopez on an 87 as well with a really good bench. Possibly one of the best benches I've had in quite some time, considering the low difference between the starting 11 players and the players on the bench. So is that the reason why? Is this the game just trying to tell me, hey, buy bench players for your rebuilds? Maybe. Maybe it is. Honestly, guys, Klaus seems to have gone down from his rating though. But Balogun has been the main man. 29-2, Under 19-11, Malinovsky still had a great season, but after that, I think Ivanušić took over his rating. So he has been playing 22 games with 11 goal contributions. That is very impressive. Half of the games he gets something done. Sar with the 17 and 7. And honestly, again, I didn't expect this, but have we won the league title? Is there a chance? Because that could be a treble season. Liga? Oh, only third. Okay. So we have not been able to get that one done, but we have won the Coupe Nationale, which again, oh, we have not. Oh, hold on a second. Does that happen after? It happens after the Champions League final. Hey, France, don't do it like that. Change the schedule around. But hey, it is what it is. We will probably never know. I'm sorry. Let's just pretend since we have beaten PSG in the semi-finals that we would have beaten them in the final anyways. So we're going to focus on this Real Madrid final and we're going to pretend like a double is on the line, okay? I didn't think we would get this far this early, but we have done so. Vini, Brahim, Valverde, Brozovic, Ceballos, I should say, Tchouaméni, Tomiyasu, Trent. Okay, so Real Madrid is the last team I lost against recently in a Champions League final, so I'm hoping I can get things right with this Olympique Marseille squad, considering these guys are way lower rated than my regular Champions League finalist teams. I am a bit worried. Now, as I said before, Real Madrid are a team that has beaten me last time. And now going into it to try and get revenge with a Marseille squad that isn't as strong as my normal rebuilds, where we have the 90 pluses in at least some positions. I have to admit, I am a bit worried, but this is great passing play here. Maybe not. Get to the ball, man. Fofana again. He's the only one constantly getting the ball back for us. Down to the left into Sar. Sar, 1v1. Lovely move. Oh, he destroyed him. Sar, incredible moment. In a Champions League final, Ivanušić to score the goal. Look at that again. The replay. He cannot believe what just happened to him. Courtois couldn't react quick enough. Marseille lead against Real Madrid. But for how long? Tchouaméni, they're causing trouble here. No, don't get past me. Dude. I said how long and they responded. It doesn't take Real Madrid too many chances. And I feel like our centre-backs are too far apart. Is that an issue with the tactics? Yes, it is. Way too much width there for a 3 at the back. Let's bring that down to 30. We're going to stay drop back because they're going to run in behind constantly. Yep, let's do that. And then in build-up, we're just going to be a counter-attacking team. We're going to Real Madrid. Real Madrid. Tsigankov, a run down the right to respond straight away. Imagine the scenes. Tsigankov! Yes! Straight from kickoff. And I don't even feel bad. Is that going to be mine? Please win it. Please win it. Okay, we're fine. Balogun. Can he sprint away from this entire squad of Real Madrid? Is that a possibility? He might be able to. Balogun goes, finds Cengiz. Cengiz stops, cuts in. One more. And that should have been a goal. Here's Harry Kane, it seems. Oh, boy, oh, boy. We cannot let him shoot. Let that be a red card for Vini. Surely. Come on. 10 men Real Madrid. Is it? No, it isn't. It's only a yellow. Come on, ref. Come on, Johnny. You can do better than that. Vini sprinting and sprinting continuously. Trying to get away from me. Good football here by Real. And that's a goal. I knew it. 2-2. This is still extremely competitive. And I wonder, is there any substitution I can make already? Nah, the players are fit. I can bring on some players like Malinovsky possibly or Kondogbia. But I have faith in this team. That's Fofana again against Vini. He wins that. Overtuned there. Okay. We have nice movement here. Great job holding on to the ball there. Across to the left. Sar. Great ball. Somehow that will be enough to score the third. It's Balogun again. Yes. What a moment. I didn't think that pass would go through, but it did. It really did. Real Madrid, do you have anything to answer at this stage? Or are you done? Are you giving up? Okay, Harry Kane definitely not giving up. He's trying to build something up here. And they nearly did. They nearly did. 85th. Now the space is open at the back. Ivanusic. He's sprinting. The former Dinamo Zagreb player wants to get something done here for his new squad, Marseille. Lovely tackle. Ref will blow the whistle any moment. Yes. No response from Real Madrid in this case. We have won it. And there he is. Rongier, the captain, will be lifting the trophy next to Fofana, in front of Paul Lopez, in front of Sarr, and so many of the players that we have brought in. Balogun, thank you so much for helping us to get to this stage. The man returns into Ligue 1 with something to prove once more. He is not destined for the bench. He's destined for the starting 11. And guys, we have done it. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you on the next one. Take care and peace.